and promising people things, and eventually we're broke. We've gotten to this point because Republicans and Democrats have gotten along. And I know that's going to be used against me. Every politician wants to get reelected. It's a lot easier to get reelected for me to say, I will get rid of student loans altogether, free college for everybody. Oh boy, I'll get reelected. Free mortgages for everybody. Oh boy, that'll help. It's a lot harder to say, oh my God, there's $16 trillion in debt. If we don't turn this around real fast, our kids and our grandkids are toast. So you know what, Medicare, Medicaid, we got to do something about it. Are you ready? If you're not ready, fine, I'm not your guy then. Are you really, really, really ready to say to government, quit doing everything for me because we can't afford it. I'll do more for myself. Are we really ready to do that? A lot of people don't think we are. There are a lot of members of Congress who believe and hope that that most Americans don't want to get serious about this stuff. I can tell you, not to be too political, when have I ever been too political? This president is just praying. He's praying that Americans this year don't have the courage to do what's right. He's hoping you don't. Tammy Duckworth's hoping you don't. They just want to promise you things. I may be wrong, but I'm going to look voters in the eyes and I'm going to say, I'm not going to promise you a damn thing. We're done with that. I'm going to ask you to be more responsible for your life because that big thing called government is about to kill us. That's a tougher message. So, boy, did I get way off of your question. So,
you do things. You act. You're in there. You're doing. How many of the others are following your footsteps?
Well, but that then I guess Wayne, I'd say is that's what elections are for. And final point, then I'll shut up. We rap on politicians all the time. This is our fault. This is our fault. This is our fault. Who's elected these people? I believe the country's woken up a little bit, thank God. We have to pay attention. We do. We have to pay attention. There's an election for members of Congress every 2 years. We need to pay attention. Thoughts, issues, questions?
There's also this kind of young kids game. I'll show you yours if you'll show me. I'll show you mine if you show me yours. And the people, your brethren over there, with all the earmarks, I'll vote for yours if you vote for mine. Oh, and that's another.
You are so right. It's a crazy game. Now, remember, I hit Republicans a lot. Republicans outlawed earmarks when we started our session. There are no earmarks. I'm telling you, it's a different day. It really is a different day. But still, the game is, for most politicians, I got to get reelected. If I can, what it used to be is if I can get that highway built in my district, that'll get me votes and that'll get me reelected. We never cared how much it cost, and we never cared that nobody knew we were doing it. That's changed. But we still, and you could see it with, and I hate to say it, even with my side, with this whole student loan thing. Does everybody understand, and again, I'm being filmed by foes, and my political staff, my staff hates it when I talk about this issue, because, oh Joe, this is going to hurt you in the campaign. Do you understand that President Obama is proposing to keep a student loan rate down at a certain level only for a year, only for certain student loans, only for new students who will be freshmen next year, and all of this rigmarole will save those students $7 a month next year, and it will cost all of us another $6 billion in debt. But you even saw the Republicans. Oh my God. I mean, we know what Obama's doing. He's trying to get young people out to pay attention and vote again. That's easy. We know how political he is. But even Republicans were so afraid to look people in the face and say, we can't play this game anymore. Young people, this is $6 billion in debt on your head. Young people, 54% of you who graduate can't find work or are underemployed. This is the issue, but we're so afraid. And that's just with young people. We're so afraid traditionally to touch Medicare or Social Security because we're worried about our older folks. We're past that. We're past that. 10,000 baby boomers retire a day. And we're not living till we're 62. We're living till we're 92. Good stuff. But if we don't, as I told Tammy last night, if you don't do anything about Medicare, it's gone in 10 years. I want you to understand how serious that is. You know who Tom Coburn is? Senator from Oklahoma. Thank you. Whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, you should love this guy because there's no BS about this guy. He's got a new book out called The Debt Bomb. It's called The Debt Bomb. And he says, and I don't think he's far off, imagine how scary this is. Unless we correct this, by 2020, your government will only have money to pay for Medicare, Social Security, and service on your debt. That's it. Can you imagine how scary that is? But to get politicians to ask people of any age, now's the time to do what's right. That's the hardest thing in the world for a politician to do. Tammy Duckworth's not going to do it. I just promise you things. Barack Obama's not going to do it. I think there's a small group of Republicans that are beginning to learn we got to do it. Don't be afraid to look somebody in the camera and say, gosh, you may disagree with my Medicare reform, but we got to do something or it's gone. And I don't think you want that. I know you want it for your kids. So come on. It's like what we put on the RV, on the back of the RV. It's time to grow up. It's time for all of us to grow up. That's the last thing in the world a politician wants to tell anybody. But it's time for tough love. For all of us. Or we are sunk. Questions, thoughts, issues? Yes, ma'am, and then I'll go here.
Regarding that loophole with the undocumented aliens getting refund checks for $1,000 per child or whatever, and they're not even in the United States, I understand that there's been a lot of talk on it, and there's been some. Where is that thing going? What's that? Is it being stalled because this is an election year, or what?
And I apologize for the confusion. Was this was something that was passed? Or is this something
I heard on TV that there was a mandate on it, but I didn't, but it's not really being enforced. Nobody's really going after and really doing anything about it.
The IRS
has dropped it.
That I know, but I don't know that there's been anything done there hasn't been anything done legislatively. I don't know that anybody's looking into that yet in a big way. You've got something that I can look at? Sure. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Well, I just want to say that you have to show favoritism, but I would do that.
Well, and again, this is a congressional event, so I don't want to talk about the campaign much. I will just say this. I don't want to talk about the campaign. I can't talk about the campaign. Look, I have said before, this is the most important election of my life. And I'm 92 years old. I've been around a long time. This is also a very easy election. Nobody should be confused whether it's Romney and Obama or Duckworth and Walsh. Nobody should be confused. I really, truly, believe this thing called Obamacare, if we don't get rid of it, it will paralyze this country. It already is. I will vote to repeal it. We will get rid of it. Tammy wants universal government-run health care. We can't go there. On every single issue, the differences are that big. So wherever you sit on these issues, nobody should be confused. Not this year. That's why this should be really such a fun election. Nothing should get personal. Why we care about what Mitt Romney did when he was a freshman or sophomore in high school is just silly. I mean, and the oddity is, we never get to look at what Barack Obama did when he was a freshman. None of that stuff matters. None of that stuff matters. Obama, what are you going to do about energy? Romney, what are you going to do about energy? That's all I want to know. Give me the issues, what are you going to do, and then get all this other noise out of my house. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I have a question. Basically following up on the legal immigrant issue. I was sent an email by family and friends who basically pointed out the problem with the IRS and the taxes in which illegal aliens who get, I think it's called an ITFN number, on a green card, can actually claim descendants that are like from Mexico that don't even reside there.
I believe that's true.
And the question is, we're talking about millions of dollars from one accountant who points out the issue. Who's doing something about that? Because those are the kind of things that, it's just one example of the way the government a lot of us hate. And it's like we feel like our money is just going down the drain.
It is. It's, again, just one, you're right, just one example. Well, Congress needs to do what Congress is supposed to do. There are so many examples like this. We need to put a spotlight on them, and then we need to put forth legislation to change whatever these are. And everybody got worked up a few weeks ago about the GSA stuff, the $800,000 Las Vegas conference, which was just the tip of the iceberg. And right away we held hearings, and right away I even put forth a piece of legislation, bipartisan I might add. The problem right now in Washington is there are so many examples of this. Fast and Furious, Solyndra, you go down the line, some of his EPA regulations, we should be examining a heck of a lot closer. I'm a freshman, so I'm with you. I think we should be looking into everything. Looking into, just holding hearings. I'm only talking about policy stuff. The problem is you got an election 6 months from now, and both sides kind of just gear up to get ready for the election. And so, unfortunately what happens is the activity we do in Washington, we just don't do as much. I wish that wasn't the case. Yes, sir.
Joe, as you're familiar with, I spent 10.5 years in federal prison. I got set up by my own family. I hired 2 attorneys, paid them $125,000 for what turned out to be an absolute sham. My attorney, Richard Jalovic, was the guy that led the Black Panther raid. It was supposedly that was a shootout in the Chicago Police Department. That was not a shootout. That was a planned murder of Fred Hampton and Mark Clark. But my attorneys traded me to be prosecuted because a federal judge committed a crime 21 years before that when Richard Jalovic and Ed Hanrahan were both indicted by a federal grand jury. You know the personal part of that because I've shared that with you in my emails and my faxes. What that judge did was illegal. I'm not going to state it in public because it's still an ongoing investigation and you're familiar with it. The issue is that fellow judge, Marvin Aspen, was the chief judge of the district court at the time my trial took place. He was part of the bribe with the assistant U.S. attorney who was still there by the name of James Conway. They traded me to be prosecuted because Ricky Jalovic was under criminal investigation. It's all memorialized in transcripts. But that fellow judge committed a crime because he was part of the